What's happening, Golden Ones? Welcome to my new segment on the Golden Experience. This is reaction time. Golden vibes, we on the climb. Watching, grooving, all acting. Tune in now to the Golden. Welcome, everybody. Damian Tremere, aka Mr.GoldenxXx. You guys can find my music on almost every music distribution platform now. You gotta check out my new genre, sci-fi, metal. Good stuff, man. You guys like and subscribe. Hit those golden megaphone emojis and the golden trophy emoji, so let me know that you've subscribed. These are some of the most interesting and strangest things I can find on YouTube and TikTok. And I hope you guys enjoy. Quick disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get it on.
You used to work at a secret Starbucks, is that right? Yeah, there is a Starbucks that is like above reserve, like a Starbucks no one's ever heard of or been to. All right. Have you ever wondered while driving in Los Angeles, how come you've never seen like Will Smith stuck in traffic on the 405? Yeah. I've never seen a 1%er just in their car stuck in traffic. Why is that? That's because there's a series of intricate tunnels underneath Los Angeles known as the Actor Bond. I'm not kidding. Like, they get access points to move through the city without ever having to be in traffic. You can come up in LAX, you can pop up at Dodger Stadium. Underneath there, in those tunnels, is Starbucks set up at different locations to allow them to get coffees while they're driving. All of them. Seinfeld.
You've
Oprah,
seen Seinfeld down there?
Bono. I've seen Seinfeld down there. Dude, almond milk latte, 2 shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he a good tipper?
They don't have to pay.
So this has been underneath Los Angeles for a few years now? I mean, how long has this been there for?
I mean, it predates me. It seems like the city was built on top of it. So, I think this goes all the way back to the 20s.
This doesn't seem real almost. This is crazy.
I imagine how I sound saying it to people.
A guy on Twitter just revealed software that can take an Instagram photo and use AI to search open cameras in a location to see if they can find the video of you taking the photo that day. So the guy who created Die With Me, which is that chat app you can only use when you have less than 5% battery, just unveiled this software where you give it like the Instagram photo on the left, and on the right you see this AI searching through a bunch of open cameras all around the world to see if they can find the people in the photo with the proper location and give you the video of the photo actually being taken. First, it's supposed to have been so hard to put together. The effect is fantastic, and it's a great way to remind people that you are constantly being watched. It's so much more of your information is out there than you think. Also, it's way easier to find your location at all times than you think. Check out his Twitter. He's got a YouTube video on it if you want to learn more about it. He also has a way to support his page. But yeah, I think this is dope and terrifying.
You ever wondered while driving in Los Angeles, how come you've never seen like Will Smith?
I'm saying that a man named Warren Schufelt created a radio x-ray that was able to uncover a series of elaborate tunnels in downtown LA in the exact same location, just like what the former Starbucks employee mentioned. And these tunnels are being uncovered as we speak throughout the country. It gets creepier as people even mention noticing these eerie entrances lately under middle schools and high schools, and in the same schools that are reporting missing children. Known as the Actor Bond Tunnel, however, as interesting as this could be, tunnels used like this would be very unlikely.
While it's getting so much support, is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person right there. I don't know. I mean, I assume you know them. Yeah.
Yes. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of business development at PayPal.
Yeah.
24 years ago.
Does he seem nervous to you?
Yeah. I mean, he's terrified of a Trump victory.
Because of the disclosure that would follow?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think he's certainly ideologically not aligned with Trump anyway, but I think he is concerned about the Epstein situation.
Have y'all seen this technology yet? This shit's crazy. So this thing scans your body, scans your face, and it shows you your flight information, but no one else can read your flight information, only you. Check this out, y'all. This is crazy. It's pretty scary. Look at this.
Delta's parallel reality experience. What happens when you walk through here and go up to that gate? It scans your face. When you look up there, you'll get your flight info, but only from your point of view.
I can't see it.
You can't see it?
No. That's so cool.
Pass me the phone.
Yeah.
And now that's my info.
Are you able to read his stuff up there at all or no?
No, I can see a picture.
So did y'all see that? He walks through a portal, it scans him, and only he can see what his information says. So is this a form of like facial recognition? Like how does it know what face to match up the correct information? Like that's weird, y'all. So you telling me that they have this type of technology at the airport? This is in Detroit, by the way, y'all. I mean, y'all saw the camera. That couldn't even pick up on the information. It seemed like the pixels, it was distorted and all that. And the lady said she could only see a plane. So y'all noticing the theme as of late, right? That's more things that have to do with portals entering into our world now. And like I said, this is only going to get a lot more interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below. Let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
To use it, you just put the glasses on, then as you walk by people, the glasses will detect when somebody's face is in frame. This photo is used to analyze them, and after a few seconds, their personal information pops up on your phone. Cambridge Community Foundation. Oh, hi, ma'am. Wait, are you Betsy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I met you through like the Cambridge Community Foundation, right? Yeah. It's great to meet you. I'm Kane.
Oh wait. So do you happen to be the person working on like minority stuff for like Muslims in India at all or something?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Are you Kashif?
Yes.
Oh, I've read your work before. That's super cool. So here's how it works. We stream the video from the glasses.
Yeah, I'm writing a book, and there's portals and stuff in my book. It's called The Voyager. You guys check it out. It's about a time traveler. His name's Jack Cross. He hooks up with Android and a alien oracle that has climbed out of the Bermuda Triangle and onto the Bahama Islands. And yeah, it's a pretty cool book. You guys check it out. It's called The Voyager, a time traveling odyssey.
Straight to Instagram and have a computer program monitor the stream. We use AI to detect when we're looking at someone's face. Then we scour the internet to find more pictures of that person. Finally, we use data sources like online articles and voter registration databases to figure out their name, phone number, home address, and relatives' names. And it's all fed back to an app we wrote on our phone. Is your address 4 Valley? Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia, 303. Yeah. Is
oh my god. Yes. Not anything, but yes.
Also attended Yale's Young Global Scholar Summer Program, right?
Really?
Yeah, these are me in like middle school.
Oh my god. What about John and Susan? Are they your
Those are my parents.
Parents? Okay.
Oh, I just seen a video of GMO acting different. So now Buddy does an experiment. He has salt water in 2 different types of tomatoes. One of them is a GMO and the other is a natural organic one. And now look at their reaction when they touch the water. Why is the GMO one doing the worm? And if it's doing this on this plate, on display, what is it doing inside of your body? Like I never thought I'd see the day that I see a slice of tomato, GMO tomato, doing the Dougie inside of the water versus the other one. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this new food highly disturbs me. We hearing all kinds of diabolical side effects when it comes to these GMO foods. And that is one of the reasons why I had to move out of America. Because me personally, I don't feel like having the food do the worm in my digestive system. But y'all let me know in the comments, is y'all with this GMO food or not? So am I the only person that realized you are what you eat? And the food that we actually supposed to be eating, it resembles the body. See, as behind me, as they say, the carrots is good for the eyes, and how carrots, they resemble the eye. Or how about how grapes is good for the lungs, but when you look at a grape, it's actually shaped, they actually resemble the lungs. And so for the walnuts too, how the walnuts, it resembles a brain. And then if you look up what walnuts do to the brain, it actually helps improve the health of the brain, the aging of the brain, keeping it young. And we continue to see this through other fruits and vegetables. Isn't it starting to make sense? You are what you eat. Nature makes no mistake. And the only thing that's showing you is that we are all God's creations. And the programmer always leave his blueprint behind. Y'all let me know what y'all think about food resembling certain body parts in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned.
It's an Andaman island. And it's forbidden to go there. And the people who live there are still living on the Stone Age. If you go there, they will eat you.
Illegal islands you can't visit, but humans did anyway. North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands and is home to indigenous tribe. The Sentinelese are an uncontacted tribe who allow no visit from the outside world. In 2018, John Chow illegally traveled to the island in an attempt to teach the tribe Christianity. And to no surprise, John was killed by the Sentinelese as they allow no contact with the outside world. John paid 2 fishermen $335 to take him near the island. The fishermen were both arrested. It is believed that John knew his fate as he wrote in his diary, "Please do not be angry at them, or God, if I get killed, don't retrieve my body." John tried to visit the island 3 times but failed the first 2 times as the tribe got mad at him. On his last visit, John told the fishermen to abandon him. The fishermen later saw the tribe dragging John's body, and the next day they saw his body being buried on the shore.
Look down here in the bottom. It's a fucking toilet.
It does.
Yes, sir, it does.
They're not fucking toilets or toilets in them. Holy shit, dude. Those are for people.
Yeah, those are for people.
They're not toilets.
How many are there, bro?
I don't know. Alright, this is what I want y'all to do. I need y'all to go into your search engine for TikTok, Rumble, or what's the other one? X. Hashtag Cuba. They've been without power the entire country now for, I think they said, 3 days, and they're starting to get restless. This is only to show you what's going to eventually happen if that was to happen here. And you see, they keep talking about the sun is going to blot out all the power eventually, and which I think is a psyop of hiding behind them cutting the power. But I mean, that's my personal opinion. Hey man, y'all need to be preparing so you're not out here looking like some zombie apocalypse. Prepare, people.
Last night, when the sun set on Cuba, a blanket of darkness was only punctured by flickers of flames and car lights. Cubans are used to the power going down, but this nationwide blackout goes a step further into an abyss. The Caribbean's biggest island is in the grip of a perfect storm. The grid here is reliant on oil that is in short supply as demand for power grew. This crisis is worst for the country's poorest residents. In contrast, even in daytime, the lights are on at the Floridita, which has the money for a generator. The bar counts Ernest Hemingway as its most famous patron. Tourism helps power Cuba. But this sector has seen a fall in income and contributed to the country's inability to keep the lights on. Cuba's communist government say their energy crisis is a product of the US trade embargo that has left Cuba cut off from the West.
We haven't been able to make the necessary repairs to the power grid. All that happens because we don't have access to foreign currencies because of financial persecution, and petrol and fuel we don't have because of energy persecution. And it's the blockade, the intensified blockade. No one wants to talk about the blockade.
But the US has denied responsibility for Cuba's energy crisis. despite the impact of its trade blockade, now in its 66th year. In that time, Cuba has gotten poorer and its people more resilient.
If there is no light, we'll shower in the malecon. We'll wash like the Indians did. No big deal. I've just washed with the rain. There's no electricity. It's always been like this.
This spirit has been carrying Cubans through the season. Just last month, Hurricane Helene in Milton caused flooding. The impact of recent storms had hurt Cuba's ability to import oil. This island is in perpetual crisis. Now the extended shortage of power has added a new dimension. If Cuba cannot restore light to the nation, the island is in danger of entering a dark age.
In 1998, filmmaker Gabriel Corrales Quebrado would work and publish a documentary covering the Castillo Histórico de Tololapan, a famous historic castle located in Guerrero, Mexico. However, it'd be in this particular part of this seemingly normal documentary that people noticed something strange. Now, I'm going to show you the video, but I'm going to ask you to pay very close attention to it and tell me if you catch it, okay? Here it is.
Nos ubicaremos en nuestro pueblo, entre las calles Guerrero, Plaza Pinzón y Galeana. Ahí se encuentra un símbolo de esfuerzo y de trabajo, el misterioso y legendario castillo, cuya propiedad perteneció primero a los españoles concesionados y después radicados definitivamente.
Yeah, I'm not joking when I tell you that I jumped a little bit. But if you didn't catch it, there's what people claim to be a ghost of a little girl quickly sliding into frame behind these rocks. It's just so weird because Gabriel's page is normal. He's just uploading normal documentary style videos. Although there are some normal comments saying like, this is a beautiful documentary, I hope the government preserves this historic monument, there are a couple people pointing out the ghostly figure. This person said at 149 on the right, there's a ghost in the hole. I mean, this is an old castle from the early 1900s, I believe, where allegedly Spanish soldiers stayed at, and then was an ice cream and oil factory. Wouldn't be surprised if this was actually haunted. Listen, I don't know if this is edited or not. If that's a real child, a ghost, edited in, whatever it is, it's creepy. I don't like how it's slid into frame. What do you guys think? Is this real? Is this fake? Let me know.
In the basement of his new house, this guy finds a hole in the wall that leads to a secret tunnel.
Hole. I advise go in it.
No way, Jimmy. Oh my god, bro. Are you kidding me? Come out here.
And the creepiest thing about it is, the hole was clearly boarded up from the inside, which means whoever did it never came out.
The check did not clear the bank, and so we sent the truck out to pick up the container.
I rolled out there and took the box up and started pulling it up. And it was so heavy, it's just it broke the winch.
And we couldn't get it off the trailer, so we had to leave it on the trailer because it was too heavy. So I was asked by Nick to have a crew go down and unload the container at the other yard.
I got a radio call from Ron Gillette, the foreman. They said the men were throwing up and there was something really wrong.
One of them fell down and hit me right in front of my feet. And it was opened up, and there it was.
And when I came to work the following day, I saw it myself. I couldn't believe it. And it's just, just little bitty babies, just all quarter pieces. The heads chopped off, arms, legs, it's just, really, it's just, it makes you want to cry when you see something like that.
Starting at the very front of this container, it was just wall, clear to the ceiling, and clear to the sides, filled with them.
I really don't want to witness it again. Not what I saw.
Well, as a supervisor for the County of Los Angeles, we found out through the media that 17,000 infants had been stored in the containers.
The whole Earth is going to go through an activation where we will have powers similar to superheroes. This is why superhero films got so popular. They're prophetic of what's going to be available to us. So they've had the Roswell stuff going back since 1947. They've had over 75 years to develop this into technology. They've had in-person interaction with ETs. And there's also evil extraterrestrials like reptilians and greys, insectoids, and certain types of tall white-skinned humans. And that agenda is actually a planetary conquering agenda. They want to come to a planet, and it turns out that the basic thing that these evil beings want is to create Satanism. And this is one of the most fascinating things I only learned in 2021 from new briefings, that anywhere these beings go, any planet they go in our galaxy, they're going to create pentagrams, they're going to create ritual magic, they're going to have people wear robes, they're going to have people wearing face masks, burning candles, chanting to this very real artificial intelligence that we think of as Satan. It actually does exist. There is a satanic AI that has become essentially like a soul. It's got its own unique abilities, and it can appear as a human being, which apparently it does in a base in Antarctica called Lucifer's Palace. If you go in there, it's very amazing. There's no other building like it on Earth. You really feel that this would be the entity that controls the planet, and this being will consolidate into a human form and appear that way in front of you. So what I'm saying is that your typical Aleister Crowley type of Satanism, where there is, you know, all these things I mentioned, the robes, the candles, the chanting, the masks, the pentagram, and of course the sacrifice. That's the most disgusting part about it, is that you're committing the most heinous atrocity imaginable. But if you do it right, you apparently see, some people, not everybody, if you have, I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe younger people see it more easily, but there's a hallucination effect that occurs. They're imbibing certain types of drugs in these ceremonies, and you hallucinate something that is very real, which is this demonic creature that appears. And so you can go back and look at the foundation of NASA, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or Jack Parsons Laboratory. Jack Parsons was working with Aleister Crowley and the founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, and they did something called the Babylon Working, where they summoned this being. And so inside your magic circle that you draw, if you do it right, you're going to see this creature show up. And it's visible to you. And they can't talk, but they can make these horrific noises that sound like a screeching animal. And they come in and they do atrocities. They do atrocities on the victim that you prepared for them. That's why it's called an offering. You offer them a victim, and they then terminate that individual. So this is a weird magic trick. It's something we're all going to have to deal with pretty soon, because the military is going to hit us with this on a mass level. We're all going to have to deal with the fact that the devil is real, Satan is real, demons are real. If you do this stuff, which again, these extraterrestrial aliens are bringing this to every planet they can, and it's always the same. It's the pentagram, it's the masks, it's the candles, it's the chanting, it's the robes, it's mind control. Another really weird thing about this is there's actually probably millions of people just in America who went through this stuff as children, and they have absolutely no memory of it at all. Why? Because the hypnosis system they use, colloquially called MK-Ultra, mind control, control with a K, that's a German form of saying it works really well. And if you get bumped out of the group because you didn't perform properly, like for example, if you start screaming and crying during these ceremonies, you can hurt the demon. The demon cannot do what it needs to do unless everybody is stoical and keeps looking at it. You have to not look away, and you have to not scream, and you have to not cry. If somebody starts crying, somebody starts screaming, the demon can get very badly hurt. So you have to find people who are willing to do that. So most of the time, the way that people end up getting kicked out is that they have emotional breakdowns, and they start crying, and they hurt the demon, and then they get kicked out. Well, guess what? You're all zipped up. You never remember anything. But when you were a child, you get hypnotized, you get brought into these things, they give you amnesic drugs, you can't remember what happened to you. But yet you're always traumatized. Your whole life has various aspects of trauma associated with it. People in the inside Area 51 community were dazzled when I came out with my first book here, which again is right behind me, Source Field Investigations, New York Times bestseller. Came out, it had, we sold very well. It was pretty amazing. You don't really make much money writing books, but it was still amazing. Led to me getting on Ancient Aliens, gave me credibility, has over 1,000 academic references. That's very hard to do. A PhD dissertation is typically 120 to 150 references. That book has over 1,000 academic references in it. And you can go read it for yourself, you can go look it up. That's why my work stands on very solid ground. This is not snake oil, this is not con artist. This is bona fide advanced research that caught the attention of Uncle. And that would be your Area 51 community.
How have they been able to evade detection, investigation? If everybody you employ is getting thrown under the bus, who are they paying to avoid media exposure? Who? We got to start attacking BlackRock, bro.
And the man that uses children to produce the most terrible content on the internet. Peter Scully was a faithful producer of child abuse material on the deep web, specifically on a site that is now disabled, known as Hurt to the Core. This site was the devil's playground. It was full of some of the most extreme evils. This site had forums. This site had chat rooms and a lot of live streaming. Hurt to the Core was a site that was owned and operated by an anonymous user by the name of Lux. After deep investigation, Lux would be traced to South Morenga near Melbourne, Australia. Sound familiar? The house that Lux was traced to was owned by a couple and the couple's 2 children. It would be after ripping off layers and layers and layers of encryption that Lux's identity would be revealed as the couple's 21-year-old son, Matthew Graham, in August 2014. Matthew would admit to making his own material, but he would not admit to anything found on his website. But he would admit to other children in the most horrific ways. Even when they seized his phone, he would not give them permission to search his laptop, but he gave them his phone to search because he thought that he cleared everything out. But it would be discovered by police 3 disturbing things. There would be 2 images in his phone of deceased children. And then there would be a video in his phone of a grown adult male standing on a live infant baby. The FBI looking into Matthew would soon reveal that he owned several websites known as Empire. Just one of these websites would have over 500,000 views in one day. It was in an attempt to drive more traffic to his website that Matthew would upload a video called Daisy's Destruction. It was this video that not only led to Matthew's capture, but Peter Scully's as well. There were 2 little girls that escaped Scully's one day, and they were able to run to a market to where they knew their parents worked. And it was then that they would tell their parents all the terrible things that happened to them, and immediately their parents would take them and go to the police, and the little girls would lead the parents and the police to where the abuse had happened. It was there that they would arrest the first teenage girl, Carmi. Peter and Shannon were not there, but the police would use Carmi to successfully capture Peter Scully. When they went to arrest Peter, he was sitting at his computer enjoying his content with his pants down to his ankles. The third person, the second teenage girl, Shannon, would go on the run for an additional 4 years after Peter's capture. She would take trips. She would go on lavish, luxurious vacations. She even would befriend a roommate, a very nice woman who had no idea the woman that Shannon was. Shannon would go on the internet and taunt her victims. Carmi would confess to everything, even though that nothing excuses what she did. at least she showed remorse in some kind of way. Her to the ends of the earth. May she rot in hell, but she showed remorse. Shannon, this evil piece of shit, not only enjoyed life on the run, but she showed no remorse until she was caught. After an unrivaling web of child abusers were arrested due to so much evidence and material being found, they would serve each and every single one of these three, Peter, Carmen, and Shannon, they would give them all life sentences. But after even more material, because they produced so much, after even more were found, they were added 120 years to their sentences of life. Peter would act so entitled in prison. He would request a cell phone with service. This piece of shit would request fresh meat from the markets. This piece of shit would request a fan because the prison was too hot. Prosecutors hated this man so much that they fought day and night to reinstate the death penalty so they could kill this man by way of fire squad. It wouldn't happen, of course, but they would fight to bring it back just for this man and his disgusting actions. Capturing Scully would lead to the arrest of doctors, teachers, lawyers, even TLC's reality show star, 19 Kids and Counting, Josh Duggar, who owned Scully's material on his computer and even implemented abuse on his younger siblings that were all on that show on TLC. I've never read details of a case that disturbed me more than this one. Never in my life have I been so ill. Just I'm sick.
The nature of this administration is good for us. Because of Trump's way, he is an anomaly. There's never been no president quite like Mr. Trump. There's something that he's doing. Trump is destroying every enemy that was an enemy of our rise. Who's the enemy of our rise? Is it the Department of Justice, where we get none? Is it Congress, where you make a law that favors us and then you turn around and destroy it? Is it the media that has destroyed every black leader that stood up for us? Martin Luther King suffered it. Malcolm suffered it. He's attacking the media, calls it fake news. We have been the victims of some fake news.
Yes.
He's beating up the FBI. Go at it, baby. They've been beating the hell out of us ever since J. Edgar Hoover, Mr. Trump.
The CIA can hack into your car and drive it remotely if they wanted to, making for nearly undetectable accidents. This fact was in one of the many leaked CIA documents from the Vault 7 release published by the infamous WikiLeaks back in 2017. And in case you missed those or just weren't paying attention when it happened, these are some of the most insane leaks from those documents that were downplayed by the media, so no one talked about them. Now, these have all been made public and the information is out there for anyone to find, so calm down there, Mr. FBI guy, it's just journalism. The FBI intentionally distributes viruses and keyloggers that all mainstream antivirus software are legally not allowed to detect. They didn't break encryption, they just bypassed it. The CIA and MI5, British intelligence, have tools that can turn any smart device like your phone, TVs, Amazon Alexas into listening devices at any time and spy on you. Then, according to these documents, the CIA lost control of these powerful malware and spying tools when they got hacked, meaning these tools tools are now in the hands of anonymous hackers that can do anything they want with it. And oh, it just keeps getting worse from here. Note, these were all once highly classified documents, but have since been publicly disclosed by Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, which he founded in 2006 as a website for whistleblowers, which allowed people to anonymously upload sensitive documents that they believed the world should know about. It really kicked off in 2010 when videos of drone attacks on innocent Iraqi citizens were leaked onto the site, which the Pentagon really didn't like. After which, Assange was persecuted by the FBI for over a decade, so you know these leaks really were the real deal. He spent 7 years hiding at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, who granted him political asylum, basically meaning as long as he stays inside the building, the police can't arrest him. He continued to run WikiLeaks from the embassy from 2012 to 2019, allowing anonymous whistleblowers to drop some bombshell classified docs that I'm gonna go over with you. Eventually, the embassy got tired of him and kicked him out, where he was thrown into prison by the UK police for the past 5 years. While he was in jail, the US desperately tried to extradite him to silence him for good with a life sentence or who knows what else. People started to get worried that he might, you know, have an accident while in jail, so a Russian artist took things into his own hands and did just the craziest thing ever. This guy threatened to destroy $50 million worth of precious art from world famous artists like Picasso by building a custom safe filled with all this art, surrounded by barrels of acid and a countdown timer that would destroy all the art unless someone confirmed that Assange is alive every 24 hours to ensure that, you know, he doesn't have this accident and disappears while in prison. This project was called Dead Man's Switch, and I guess it surprisingly actually kind of worked, because just recently, in June 2024 actually, Julian Assange was finally released under a plea deal with the US Justice Department. He technically pleaded guilty to a single count of violating the US Espionage Act, but the 62 months he spent in the UK prison counted as his time served. So he's a free man and returned back to his homeland of Australia for the first time in over a decade in late June 2024. His site WikiLeaks is still live, but hasn't published anything in quite a while for now, and it's still not clear whether Assange will continue this work, but I'm guessing he's gonna lay low for a while. Among the leaked documents dropped during the site's glory years were that the NSA has forced AMD, Intel, and other chip makers to backdoor their CPUs to allow them to access your computer even if it's turned off, as long as it has access to electricity. So if your laptop or phone battery isn't dead, or your PC is just plugged into the wall, the government's got an all-access pass to everything on your device. On top of that, American-made electronics transmit radio frequencies which allow the FBI and NSA to access your computer even if it's not connected to the internet. Basically, you're never safe. If you are a person of interest, the NSA is intercepting your mail, opening it up, and installing bugs on any electronics you order from the internet, like phones, TVs, even microwaves, and smart fridges. And there are no strict requirements on being a person of interest. If they just don't like you or say the videos you post online, you're a POI. The NSA has already broken Tor networks and can identify and attack you if you use the super anonymous Tor browser commonly used to browse the dark web. ISP companies like Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast are in on it too. The CIA can remotely infect your car's control systems as long as it has an internet connection like most modern vehicles do, which would allow them to take over your car and do anything they want with it, like drive it and crash it into a concrete wall, hypothetically speaking. The CIA also developed malware known as Weeping Angel, which infects TVs, putting them in a fake off mode. Even though it appears to be turned off, the TV's mic is still active, allowing conversations to be recorded and sent to the CIA via the internet. And yes, your TV has a mic. They also have access to exclusive bypasses that allows them to collect data from encrypted messaging apps, specifically listing WhatsApp, Telegram, Confide, and Signal, giving them control and access to everything on these apps. Geolocation, audio, text, images, videos, and even covert activation of the camera and mic. Yup, the group chat is compromised and they can see everything in it if they wanted to. Reminder, the leaked documents also stated they've lost control of some of these tools from a hack, so it's not just government agencies using these against you. Okay, that's all for now. I'll let you guys know.
Who's building a $1 billion studio? How is that going to make money? What's the business plan? Is it over 30 years? That's my question.
De Niro's 81, isn't he? Like, what? How old is De Niro?
But that's what I'm saying. In the rating system of Hollywood, PG-13, rated R, which rating is the most profitable?
I would say PG.
Wrong. It's G. The children's films that are animated stories like Cinderella are the most profitable in all of Hollywood, and yet they're 30% of the production. So why would the system make 70% of something that doesn't make as much as the 30%? Why? Because it's spiritual. because the devil runs Hollywood. And he wants that negative 70% to teach your kids all these other things. But the 30%, which makes the most money, is happiness and loving your mom and dad, and they make the most money. Why would Hollywood make less of the most profitable?
You know, what happened in 1990? There was no plague that was killing children, that we had tripled the amount of vaccines.
What happened after 1989?
And why did they
That warranted 26 more vaccines.
Greed.
Are all of them absolutely necessary?
They want to make money.
Of course.
It's twice as many as anywhere else in 30 countries in the Western world. But we give twice as many shots as any of those countries. Why is that? I don't think we can afford to assume that the people who are charged with our public health any longer have our best interest at heart all the time. Parents have to make their own decisions, educated decisions. They have to look at the information.
Space out the vaccines, delay them till after 1, clean out the toxins that are in them. We don't need that many.
Why would a doctor not want to know more about something that could save a life or prevent a disease? I don't understand.
The AAP is financed by the drug companies. Medical schools are financed by the drug companies. This is a huge business. Vaccines are the largest growing division of the pharmaceutical industry. $13 billion.
They control medical schools.
What we're asking is for them to take a loss for the good of our children.
$13 billion. Vaccines are probably one of the biggest industries in the world. Just make sure you're taking your health into consideration, into your own hands, knowing what you're eating, knowing how to stay healthy.
Look, no hands, and no driver for that matter. Scientists assure us that it's the shape of things to come in highway travel. This robot car is the latest project under study by the Road Research Laboratory. It's all done by computerized electronic impulses relayed to the car through a special receiving unit fixed to the front. Signals picked up from the inlaid track are interpreted by the unit to change the car's course or its speed, rather similar to the automatic pilot system used in aircraft. Sometime in the future, they say, every vehicle on a main road network could be taken by remote control all the way to its destination. It may seem a bit of a pipe dream at the moment, but researchers say that robot cars may well be in everyday use within 30 years.
What's around it, what will happen next, and what it should do. You are, and we developed a comfort mode, adjusting the pedals to a perfect resting position.
It's amazing.
So if you're in some sort of a biological disaster area, you can drive through your Tesla.
Yes. It's literally this like biohazard defense mode where it basically pressurizes the car. So it's like the car is under positive pressure with all the air coming through a gigantic HEPA filter. And then even the air inside the car is recirculating in a secondary filter. It's got the most advanced filtration system of any car by far. Literally hospital grade.
Wow.
You could do an operation in the car. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got a little carried away.
I'm glad you get carried away.
I'm going to create episodes of The Golden Reaction every time I get the chance. You guys stay tuned.
The Golden Reaction.